Gentlemen, welcome to the New York Mills Regional Cultural Center's Kalevala Puppet Pageant! Yay! Today, we will tell you the tale of Väinämöinen and the Golden Goose.
Come to Finland long ago, land of tree and rock and snow, bards and witches did command, trolls and fairies of the land. Stone and water, cloth and flower was the wise man's song of power. Dame of Vainamoinen through the forest and the fens. Bards and witches did command, trolls and fairies of the land, land of tree and rock and snow, come to Finland long ago.
Vaka vanha Väinämöinen, itse tuossa noiksi virki. Näistä päätokitsuisi, kalaluinen kanveloinen. Unoisi jos soijaa, soitan loisen latiaa. Kuulet hoista tullut kana, ei ollut osaajaa. Soitan loisen latiaa, takat Väinämöinen noin. Itse loihin latiaksi, enteli läpi soitoi.
Once upon a time, a long time ago, Finland was divided in two. Pohjola was ruled by an old witch known as Louhi, or the Dame of Pohjola. She had a good heart, but she was often crabby.
Man, do I feel crabby!
Thanks to her magic, her land had plenty of cattle, and there was always lots to eat. Oh yeah, have a beer there. Now, because she was very wealthy, This meant that she also had her magic mill called the Sampo. If she wanted treasure, all she had to do was have one of her cow servants crank it.
Go crank that Sampo, cow! Once, twice, thrice.
And out come all sorts of wonderful things.
Bring those things here, cows. One valuable medallion. Two gorgeous crowns. One priceless ruby. And several beautiful bracelets. It's good to be rich.
Now, because her magic mill could make anything she wanted, the Dame of Pohjola was pretty used to getting her way in everything.
I'm tired of this. I think I'll go lounge around on my solid gold couch. Come on, cows. Take all that stuff with you. Maybe I'll have another beer, too.
Now, the other part of Finland was called Vainola, and it was ruled by a wise old bard named Väinämöinen. He was known for his ability to enchant all that heard him play. His land was full of beautiful flowers and corn and horses and birds. Väinämöinen had a tender place in his heart for birds, but especially geese, for they had once done him a very great favor. He loved the goslings, or baby geese. Now there is a story about why Väinämöinen loved those geese so much. Let's hear all about it with the help of our little goslings. Wait for it. Once, upon a time, even longer ago, when Väinämöinen was a very young man, and the Dame of Pohjola had not even been born, our hero was a warrior and had not yet learned about the power of his song. He was very good at defending his country from enemies, such as the Vikings. Retreat, little Viking, retreat! But young Väinämöinen had much to learn about the different kinds of strength that exist in the world. One day, a terrible plague came upon his country. A dreadful dragon loosed itself over the land, blackening everything it touched with disease and despair. Now Väinämöinen was still young, and so first he tried to do battle with the dragon. But when he struck at it with his sword, instead of dying, it multiplied and created deadly offspring, disease, hunger, greed, and last but not least, death. And these hatchlings laid waste to the country. They killed everything and took it with them. The poor flowers, the corn, the horses. Väinämöinen didn't know what to do. He sat upon a rock and wept. All his strength could not save his beloved country. The only thing that was not hurt by the dragon plague was Väinämöinen's little flock of golden goslings. And they gathered around him, flapping their little wings. Väinämöinen cried out in his despair, "What should I do? How can I save my country?" Now he didn't expect any answer, but one of the little goslings came and spoke to him.
Oh, Väinämöinen, you have always been good to us, and so I tell you the secret that we hold close in our feathery little hearts. The father of all geese, our golden king, is very wise, and he can help you, I'm sure of it.
And Väinämöinen said, "O little one, how do I find this golden goose?" And the little gosling said,
You must travel towards the moon and over the sea, singing the praises of the water spirit there. She is gentle, but likes to hear her name. In 7 days and 7 nights, you will arrive at the island of the great golden goose himself.
And so one of the goslings went and fetched him his kantele, and Väinämöinen got his trusty lund boat and prepared for his journey. Yes, sir, he made right here in New York Mills. So he set sail, and as he went, he sang, and sure enough, the water spirit showed her face. Ah, lovely water spirit. And she smiled upon him because of his song. And so she sent for her seahorses to accompany him on the trip. And they sailed along over the seas. And after 7 days and 7 nights, they came to the island of the great golden goose himself. And the water spirit and her seahorses went back to their watery home. And he was greeted by an entourage of shining geese. He bowed to those geese, and they went to fetch their king. And soon the great goose himself appeared. All hail the golden goose king! And Väinämöinen told him of his trouble.
Mighty King of the skies, from o'er the shining seas, come to our aid, for our land is laid waste by disease. The dragon turns our crops black, his breath a plague and scourge. Each blow island brings more death, for my 10th strength won't purge. Almighty King of the skies, from land beyond the moon, come to our aid, give us hope, or we will perish soon.
And the great golden goose replied,
O Väinämöinen, now learn, there are many kinds of might. No sword can vanquish this, your song is for this fight. This enchanted casket now take, play a canter well and long. Throw the dragon into it then, shut it safe and tight with song.
and so saying the golden goose flew off, and Väinämöinen traveled again back over the waters, singing praises, of course, to the water spirit and her seahorses, who accompanied him on his trip back home to Pohjola. And when Väinämöinen arrived home, he went to disembark and get ready to face the horrible, fearsome, nasty, formidable, stinky, warty, scary, no good dragon and its hatchlings who were still running amok. Väinämöinen took the box and set about tempting the terrible dragon and its offspring into the casket that the golden goose king had provided.
We come with gifts, dreadful one, defeated we give you our home, and to our leader we bring gold and silver, precious stone.
Now the dragon plague was greedy, and it wanted to see the riches in the box. So it came nearer and nearer, but still it could see nothing. Väinämöinen kept playing his kantele, and the dragon was so curious, it stuck its whole nose in the box and found it was being pulled in. Its hatchlings followed it, one after the other, and soon they were all in the box, and Väinämöinen shut it up tight. And as soon as the terrible creature was sealed in the casket, Pohjola began to recover. The flowers and the crops grew as before, and the horses and the corn flourished. And young Väinämöinen was triumphant. Okay, guys, that was when Väinämöinen was a young man. Now we must jump ahead to a time when Väinämöinen was an old bard and hero with many years under his belt. Well, things weren't always hunky-dory between Pohjola and Pohjola. Väinämöinen tried to be friendly. He invited the Dame of Pohjola. You guys remember the Dame of Pohjola? The Dame of Pohjola and her cows to come to his land for a feast. And the goslings were kept busy bringing all the dishes out.
I wonder what we have to eat. Come on, cows, let's see what we've got.
There was corn and blueberries and heaps of good things. And Väinämöinen and the dame ate and ate and ate. Oh, but in the middle of the feast, news was brought to Väinämöinen that there was a sick horse. So before he left, he warned the dame. He said, "Good dame, entertain yourself with the sights and sounds of my hall. But whatever you do, in the name of all that is good, don't open this casket." And he went off with his goslings to tend to that poor sick horse. Now the Dame of Pohjola was left alone, and she didn't like that, and she got bored. So she started walking around the hall, and her cows tried to entertain her by horsing around. But the dame was restless and annoyed that she'd been left alone. So soon she came to the casket.
I wonder what's inside.
And she said to her cows,
Should I open it?
"No," the cow said, "bad idea." But, as we said, the Dame of Pohjola was used to having her own way.
That old Väinämöinen is such a fuss budget. I'm sure it wouldn't do any harm to take a peek.
And so she opened up the casket. And out came the terrible dragon, spewing disease and destruction. Out came its children, death and greed and disease and hunger. And the dame's own cows fell sick under the spell. The dame herself was protected with her magic, but she was distraught at the havoc she had wrought.
Oh no! What have I done? Oh, my poor cows! This is terrible!
The dame thought that perhaps she could make the plague go away with gold, so she summoned her magic Sampo to her side. And she said to her cows,
Create as many wealthy gifts as you can.
So her poor sick little cow staggered to the Sampo, and he cranched once, twice, thrice, and out came a chest of gold, which the little cows tried to offer to the dragon plague. But the Dame of Pohjola didn't have Väinämöinen's gift of enchanting song, and so the dragon raged about. Soon her cows became even sicker. Väinämöinen came back and found that the dame was in a state. Her cows were sick, and his lands began to fall ill due to the terrible plague the black dragon had brought. "What have you done?" he said. "You've let loose the plague and all its children." And the dame said,
I'm sorry, I was bored.
So Väinämöinen said, "We must fix this," and he called his little goslings. And Väinämöinen said, "Little goslings, could you make the journey to fetch your golden king? Would he come to our aid?" And the head gosling said,
Yes, so Väinämöinen, I'm sure he would make the trip. The many kindnesses you have shown our people will surely prompt our king to come to your rescue.
And so the little goslings flew off and sang their honking song to the water spirit, who loved to hear her name. But before they had even arrived, the king of geese himself found them, and he went with them back to Väinämöinen. When they arrived, they found that even the dame and Väinämöinen were looking pretty sick. And the golden goose sang out this song to Väinämöinen. "Oh, Väinämöinen, oh friend, I'll help you in this fight. You know now from Pageant song there are many kinds of might. No sword can vanquish this. Sing of love, kindness, and light, of charity, faith, and hope. Banish dragon plague from sight. Kindness of charity, hope. There are many kinds of might. Faith and goodness have strength to banish evil in this fight." So Väinämöinen made a valiant effort. He began to play, and the golden goose sang with him. And the song they sang summoned a golden dragon. First and in their places rose good spirits and magical golden geese. And the Dame of Pohjola and her little cows were cured. The dame said,
I'm sorry, O Väinämöinen, that I didn't listen to your counsel. Let me make it up to you. Let's continue our feast. This time, it's on me.
and so the dame summoned her cows to crank the sample. Once more, once, twice, thrice, and out came all sorts of good things to eat. Especially, guess what? Corn, of course, corn, the first cornfeed ever. The dame liked corn. So everybody got some corn, lots of butter and salt, and they all started to eat. All of them. The goslings, and the good spirits, and Vainamoinen, and the cows, and the dame. And they even invited the water spirit who loved to hear her name. And all was well. The end.
Vaka vanha Väinämöinen, itse tuossa noiksi virki. Mistä toki tulisi, Kalevalan kanveloinen. Unoisi jos ajaa, soitan voisin latia. Kun poista tullut kana, ei ollut osaajaa. Soitan voisin latia. Pakat Väinämöinen. Itse loihin latiaksi. Impellipo läpi soimaan.